All right. So we have to pay Governor's School 2 years in advance. Is that correct? Our student tuition?
No, 2 years in advance.
Okay.
Right, but if we don't send all 8 kids, we still owe for all 8 kids.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I got a letter about it, and I wasn't sure what to make of that. Okay. All right. This April 8th meeting of the Radford City School Board will come to order. Please join us in a moment of silence. Now let's join together in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Everyone should have reviewed the agenda, so I'll call for a motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, agenda stands approved. And Dr. Joyce, we're ready for our school and student showcase.
Thank you very much. So first on our list was a report from Dalton Intermediate School. Mr. Freeman is at baseball game, so he's sent his trusty assistant principal, Ms. Brandy Ray, and she's going to introduce her student guests.
Good evening. My name is Brandy Ray, for those of you who don't know me, and I have the honor and privilege of serving as the assistant principal for Dalton Intermediate, as well as the high school. Today I have with me Yusuf Al-Hadi, and Yusuf is an 8th grader at the high school, and he serves as our vice president, correct, of our student government. On the list we had for our history folks to present. I think that is going to be bumped to another time because the people who would be presenting are doing their final rehearsal for Annie tonight. So I would like to encourage you to come out and see that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, because it's going to be fabulous. So at this time, I will turn it over to Yusuf.
Good evening, members of the school board and Dr. Joyce. Thank you for the opportunity to address you tonight. My name is Yusuf Al-Hadi, and I am an 8th grader at DIS, soon to be a rising freshman. I am honored to stand before you to present an overview of the remarkable achievements and events that have taken place at Dalton Intermediate School since DIS last presented in the fall. Here are some of our winter highlights. DIS fielded teams in boys and girls basketball, swim team, and wrestling. Each of these skills learn what it is to be a Bobcat and helped lay a solid foundation for our athletic teams. JT Keister recently competed in a swim meet in Orlando, Florida, where she finished 4th in the 50 breaststroke. We continue with all of our tutoring programs to provide essential support for our students requiring remediation in math and English, emphasizing our commitment to our academic excellence and our student success. For community outreach, DIS students spread joy and warmth during the holiday season by providing holiday care packages for residents of the Highland Ridge Nursing Home and Rehab Center, embodying the spirit of giving and compassion. Our band and choir concerts highlighted the artistic talents and dedication of our students. Drama Repper and Jade Sanchez Rodriguez represented at DIS Virginia Tech Honor Band. All of the DIS students participating in district choir assessment received superior ratings in sight reading and performance. Several of our students were recognized for outstanding artistic achievements, earning gold and silver keys in prestigious scholastic art awards. Here are some of our spring highlights. For the first time ever, DIS is fielding a boys soccer team. We are also to continue to provide teams for baseball, softball, girls soccer, and track. Each of these sports help connect our students to our school and provide valuable experiences outside of the classroom. The Glencoe Arts Exhibition showcased the creativity and talent of our students. Several of our students had artwork on display for the public. DIS participated in Scripps National Spelling Bee. We held a classroom competition, a school-wide competition, and then a district-wide competition. Jace Vandergrift, an 8th grader, won our district-wide spelling bee, and we had 14 students compete in Regional History Day competition at RU. This was the second time DIS participated and DIS will be represented at the state competition in Richmond on April 25th by 8 of our students. 6 students received honorable mentions for their exhibits, and 8 who are moving on to state competition, all placed in regional level. Dalton students will once again participate in Bobcat Theater Company's Spring Musical. This year, the production of Annie. Our choir and band students also contribute to this production, which will be performed this weekend on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and 7 p.m. on Sunday at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Upcoming events. As we draw closer to the end of the year, we have a number of exciting events planned. Our 7th grade science students will engage in fascinating frog dissection activity, fostering a deeper understanding of biology and anatomy. This will also be doing a unit in life cycles and hatching chicks before the end of the year. Friday, Mr. Fisher's 7th grade history classes will be taking a field trip to the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford. Also Friday, the 8th graders will be participating in Career and Etiquette Lunch. They will learn proper dining etiquette and conversation skills. On April 21st, Addicted to Life will bring an alcohol and drug prevention presentation to both of our 7th and 8th grader students. Our 8th grade dance is planned for May 1st and is always a fun event. We are anxiously awaiting the releases of our distribution of our yearbook, which should be ready for our students around the middle of May. Our class picnics to Bissett Park are planned for May 26th and 27th. Our annual award day to recognize the accomplishments of DIS students is set for May 29th. Lastly, we are gearing up for the end of the school year SOL test, which will take place in mid-May. We'll anticipate that DIS will be successful on these tests and aim for distinguished recognition from the state. In conclusion, the year 2025-2026 will be busy and a successful year marked by outstanding achievements and memorable experiences. We are grateful to dedicated faculty, supportive parents, and talented students who have contributed to the success and vibrancy of Dalton Intermediate School. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to address any questions or comments from the board. Thank you.
Thanks, Yusuf. That was a lot of activities. Thank you.
Good job. All right, next up, speaking of year-end celebrations and all the things that go with that, I'd like to welcome to the podium Mr. Adam Simpson to tell us about things that are going to happen between now and June 1.
All right, thank you all for having me. Yeah, it's a very exciting time of year, very busy time of year, so just wanted to share upcoming events, things we'd like to invite you all to, and just ways we're going to celebrate with all of our students, but especially our senior class. I think Mr. Dye has some slides here. Oh, I have a clicker. Okay. All right, so we've heard it a couple times now, so we just wanted to highlight Annie. That's starting tomorrow night, opening night, 7 p.m. Over 60 students from all 4 of our schools participating, $5 for students and $7 for adults to come out and support our talented actors and actresses. We'd love to see you there. I don't think this is working, Mr. Dye. All right. On Friday, we're going to have our spring sports pep rally. With all the weather and everything, we did not have a winter sports pep rally. So we want to recognize some of our winter athletes and their accomplishments there, at that. In particular, our volleyball girls are going to receive their state championship rings, and we're going to kind of unveil the state championship banner in the gym. So we'd love for you to join us there if you'd like to. It's at 1:50 to 2:20 on Friday. And then, with the time remaining, we're going to do a little powder puff volleyball that our boys have signed up for, so that should be fun. They played it last year and had a great time. Cole, you playing? All right. See. All right, and then on Wednesday, 2 weeks from today, I believe. Is that right? Wednesday, April 22nd, we have an event called Radford Rising, which is to highlight innovation from our students, particularly in our CTE courses, but it could be from any program in our school, fine arts, science department, history as well for the PBAs that they have put together this spring. So it's really just a showcase of student learning, and it's going to be from 4:30 to 7 o'clock. There will also be some student-led tours throughout our different classrooms, and just to show off all that they've learned this school year. So that's a pretty cool event. Next. It was working. Now it's... All right, getting into some of our fine arts programs. So band, the spring concert will be on Tuesday, May 5th at 7 o'clock. They're going to go on their annual King's Dominion trip on the 16th. And then there's a separate concert Tuesday, May 19th for percussion ensemble and jazz band at 7 o'clock. Recently, I think I read this at the last board meeting, but our band received a superior rating, and we're named a Virginia Band of Distinction. So we were previewing the next slide, which we anticipated this, and it came to pass that our choir also had a superior rating, which means that we will be recognized as a VMBA Blue Ribbon School for this school year, because both of our choir and our bands were superior. So we're excited about that. I think it's been a few years since the high school has had that recognition. And then we have the spring choir concert at RU on Thursday, May 7th. All right, then prom would be on Saturday, May 9th. It is going to be at the Highlander Hotel, which was selected by the students. They voted on where they wanted to go this year. The theme is a secret. It's going to be revealed tomorrow on the podcast. The other half of that ticket was going to give away the theme, so there's a little clue there, but they're going to announce that tomorrow at school. It'll be from 7:30 to 10:30, and the floor show 30 minutes beforehand. Tickets sold at lunches. All right, just a list of all the other senior events and recognitions that we're going to do. The ever popular yard signs and banners. We're going to try to get those all printed and distributed by the first week of May so that we can have those on display throughout the city. And then we have several awards programs, CTE awards, athletic awards, and then academic awards. And we have the senior video, which will be at the Radford Theater. We have baccalaureate, senior breakfast, and of course our traditional senior walk through all the schools on the day of graduation. And then last but not least, of course, we have the big event, Friday, May 22nd, 7 o'clock on football field. I think Cole's going to tear up a little bit. It is hard to believe, and we realize that it becomes routine for all of us, but it's the seniors' one shot. It's their senior year, so we really want to make it special. I try to, get their input on a lot of things. Hey, what do you want to do here? We want to keep things traditional, but when there's a chance for them to give input, they wanted to play the powder puff volleyball. That's what we're going to do. So, we're really excited. We'd love for everyone to come out and join us at these events.
So if Mother Nature doesn't cooperate on the 22nd, are we aiming for the 23rd?
I think the preference would be to stay outside if possible, and then there's a worst case plan B at RU.
So RU might be, so we're talking about the next day could be inside, but hopefully outside.
I think plan B would be the morning of Saturday morning, and then if it's a wash, well, if we know it's a wash far enough in advance, we could probably stick with Friday night, but if we have to shift and do Saturday at RU, then we'll do that.
But we're going to try our best to graduate on.
I believe that's what folks want to do.
I believe so too. You have a lot going on there.
Yes, sir.
In fact, you didn't reveal all of your tricks, did you?
Not yet.
You have one more up your sleeve that I know of.
Am I free to
No.
reveal this? Okay.
No, sir.
I didn't know how you were leading me there.
Welcome to the Adam and Adam show.
Oh, it's Adam Intelligence. Only we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an Adam.
And it'll be, it's an Adam thing. But it will be revealed to everyone soon enough.
Can
When you
you
least
send
expect it.
Can you send us the link to this
Yes.
slide presentation so we can have all these dates?
Sure.
That'd be great.
And times.
Yeah.
Will do.
They'll send it to me, we can post it in this section on the agenda also.
Okay. All right.
So other people can see it.
Okay.
Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you.
So we're going to switch it up just a little bit. You always like when the preacher goes off of the bulletin. We're going to do that now. Cole Martin has two hats on this afternoon. One is a school board member. The other is a soccer player. So in order to make room for soccer, we're going to let him do his school board member things now. You can do it from your seat. That'll be great. All right, and then he's going to tiptoe out and go win a soccer game.
Yes. So to begin, our spring sports are now fully underway. All of our teams are competing well. We're kind of in the craziness of spring sports, of hosting and traveling a lot every single week. Tonight, as mentioned, boys soccer hosts Giles High School at 7:15. Girls soccer is playing right now before the boys game at 5:30 at home. Varsity softball has a home game tonight against Galax, and as well as the varsity baseball team is home against Galax. JV softball and baseball host Giles tomorrow. The track team will travel down to Emory and Henry on Saturday, April 18th for their next track meet. And another hosting is by the girls tennis team hosting Giles at the high school as well today, and the boys will host Giles tomorrow. So as you can see, spring sports get hectic in the middle of the week with a lot of games and matches occurring at once. I encourage everyone to come out and support some of our spring sports at some point and watch our Bobcat athletes compete. On March 29th, the Radford High School National Honor Society held a community cleanup day. 14 members of the chapter split up to various locations around Radford, including the Rec Center, Bissett Park, Riverview Park, and the community garden area down by the river. A truckload of mini bags of small items were collected, as well as a few large items, including some trash cans, barrels, and multiple tires. The cleanup was a great success, and I'm very grateful to the National Honor Society for taking the step to make our community a better place. This Friday, our Bobcat Career Chats will be continuing as employees from Carillion will come to the school and speak with students about radiology. On April 24th, there is a Mingle Like You Mean It networking event for 10th graders. These 10th graders have been working hard on their professional skills and will have a chance to use these as they speak with professionals in local industries, colleges, and businesses. Advisors from NRCC will be coming to RHS to help seniors attending NRCC build their class schedules for the upcoming semester, and advisors from RU came to RHS to do the same. Radford High School has great exploration opportunities. I find myself bragging on them every year. And it's just a great way for students to prepare for their lives beyond the walls of the high school. This past Easter weekend, we had a 4-day weekend, and before that, we had a 3-day weekend. Personally, and I can speak for many students, those weekends were an amazing little break to have. After spring break, starting the fourth quarter, it's very easy for students to become quickly overwhelmed by the amount of instruction and work. These longer weekends serve as a great way for students to, one, catch up on their work and have a break to transition back into learning. Just recently, Mr. Ferguson's dual enrollment U.S. history students participated in the District 3 History Day competition at Radford University, which you all will hear more about later. 9 of the students advanced to the state competition in Richmond. We're very proud of the work they put into these projects. SOL start upcoming on May 18th, and AP exams begin at the start of May. Students continue to prepare for their exams, and students in AP classes are entering crunch time to study for those tests. There are 36 school days left in the year, and I hate to say it, but 32 school days until graduation. Mr. Simpson spoke about the upcoming senior events, and I, among many seniors, am looking forward to those events. It is important in these final days to make memories with each other to look back on for years to come. Thank you all for allowing me to speak earlier in the meeting, and I will make sure the Bobcats get another win tonight. So.
You are dismissed. Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right, you're ready for consent items. We had minutes to look over from the March 10th meeting and the March 24th meeting. Is there a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the minutes stand approved. We did not have any field trips on our attached, did we? But we have these
Yes, ma'am.
in front of us
Yes, ma'am.
that have gone through checked all the boxes, and they're ready to be approved for the Virginia choir trip.
And the history day. And the history trip.
Okay. So just those competitions going to the next level,
Yes, ma'am.
correct? Okay. Would you like us to vote on approving those?
You can go ahead and do schools, facilities, and bills.
Okay,
You can wrap those up with the other consent items.
okay, all right. So, do I have a motion to approve all the consent items we've seen? And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, consent items are approved. I don't think we have anybody signed up to speak, do we? Or do we? Okay. All right. Dr. Joyce, I'll hand it back over to you.
Thank you very much. So as we move into April, we're excited to kick off Workforce Readiness Month. This month shines a spotlight on the many ways workforce readiness efforts across Virginia are rooted in public education. It's a reminder that strong communities truly begin with strong schools. Throughout April, we'll be highlighting the exceptional programs, partnerships, and initiatives that help students connect their learning to future careers. From career and technical education and apprenticeships to internships and industry collaborations, school divisions across the Commonwealth are preparing students for real-world skills, knowledge, and experiences they need to thrive in a rapidly evolving workforce. Mrs. Mosby and Dr. McDaniel will be highlighting Radford Rising, our upcoming exhibition of learning showcase, during this presentation from Mrs. Mosby. Thank you.
Thank you all very much for having me tonight, and happy Workforce Readiness Month. So just a little start, the VSBA has a video or PSA that we could not get the sound to work on. So in general, I just wanted President Jenny Nichols, some of the highlights that she had in her video, and I do encourage you to look at it later. It's on YouTube, and it is really, really nice. She hits a lot of these points that Dr. Joyce already mentioned, but basically the importance of preparing every student. I don't think it's working, is it? You told me not to do it. No.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. There's the PSA.
There's a link that doesn't work.
Yeah. And there's what she says. So she really touches on the importance of preparing every student for success in the workforce, committing to supporting each school in the CTE programs, helping align education with the workforce needs, building stronger communities, stronger economies, and a stronger Virginia, while all empowering our students. And I did invite some students to come tonight to talk a little bit about their experiences so far with the Bridge to Excellence programs, but as you heard Cole mention, it's very busy right now with some of the things going on, so finding time in their schedules is very hard. So, but I can tell you from the trips that we've already been on with healthcare, and then of course last semester, the experience and the opportunities they're getting are really priceless. So I can tell on their faces and the questions they're asking, it has definitely been a powerful program for them. So moving on to, I just did it. Are you going to do it for me or am I going to do it? What is this? Okay, can you go back then? Oh, no, that is this. Nope, go back. No, for it. There you go. So on April 16th is the official Workforce Readiness Day. So we're going to put out a social media post, basically that says today is Workforce Readiness Day. We're celebrating the programs, partnerships, and people who help prepare our students for meaningful careers and lifelong success. Public education is building tomorrow's workforce by connecting students to career pathways, technology, and real-world learning opportunities. Strong workforce readiness begins with strong leadership. On Workforce Readiness Day, we recognize the school boards, educators, and community partners who make these opportunities possible for our students. Workforce readiness isn't just about jobs, it's about opportunity. And today we celebrate how public education empowers students to dream big and achieve more. And with that, the next slide, you'll see some of the, obviously, our partnerships again of what we're doing with the Bridge. And I've been to a few different programs, visited some other places that are doing some unique things too. And I have people coming up to us saying, "Oh, you're Radford City, here's my card, we'd like to be on your tour." So we're starting to build momentum to the point where we were talking to Dr. Brandon last week from New River Community College, and trying to figure out how we can continue to grow and expand and even give more opportunities, because we really don't have that many Fridays in a semester to do them all. So that's been really fun. So as you can see with the Bridge to Excellence Manufacturing in the fall, these are some of the places that our students got to go and see. Patent Warehousing and Regal Rexnord, Colmorgan, Hollinsworth and Bose, Tech Lab, Oroncy, Moog, Volvo, James Hardy, New River Community College. These are they got opportunities to do SDV, they did a measurement class. I mean, they were doing things, hands-on learning, asking questions. Some of the places had them going out and making things while they were there and participating. And they got a lot of free swag, which was really cool for them to be able to take home and use as well. And then right now we're doing the Bridge to Excellence in Healthcare. And so one of my students I wanted to come tonight was just going to talk about her experience so far, because we're just getting started. We've really only kind of touched base with going to Wytheville Community College and Virginia Western Community College, which I actually have that on Wytheville twice instead of Virginia Western. But we've been there. We've been to Radford University, Allied Science and Athletic Training down at Dedmon. So they're seeing programs that they can go straight into class and get those experience and training and certifications and credentials with. And then they're going to, like Radford University Athletics was seeing what they can do with those programs. And then the Allied Science, what four-year program that might be for them. The community college is showing them if they want to do a transfer program, if maybe it's an 18-month or a 2-year program. Next week, we're going to go back to Radford University, but stay on the main campus to look at the nursing labs, sim lab, being able to go basically into the different classrooms and, like I said, simulation of what it might be like to be a nurse for a day or a healthcare worker. We're very excited about going to Lewis Gale in the rehab center across the street. They basically said they're going to set us up in their boardroom, have a great conversation with their students, even go over things like human resources and retirement, like all those things that they're not maybe thinking about, but maybe that is something they want to learn about right now. But then because even though they're not 18, they're with myself and Mr. Arnold from Pulaski, we get to go tour the whole entire hospital and see just about every floor, go to the NICU, go to maybe ICU, wherever they want to take us. We're up for it. And then we'll have lunch with them and then go across the street to the rehabilitation center and see what happens over there. VCOM has invited us to come, so we're excited about that. And then we'll head back over to New River Community College. They're such a strong partner with us to, again, see some of those programs like EMT and, again, some of the other nursing programs. So we're excited about staying right here in the New River Valley. Our students are seeing places that they can drive to, take a bus to, some places even walk to, depending on where they live. So it has been a really neat opportunity to experience these things and let them see what workforce looks like, what high-quality work-based learning might be like for them as they approach junior, senior year. And so that is a big need right now, in definitely trying to find individuals to stay local and kind of give back to their community is what we're aiming to do. And then so to kind of wrap it up, the proclamation that is for this month, so kind of bear with me, I was going to split this one with my students, so I'll read it. Whereas workforce readiness is essential to developing skill sets for students in Virginia's public schools to be successful beyond high school graduation, and whereas the demand of highly skilled jobs over the next decade in Virginia will continue to increase and can be filled by qualified public school students, and whereas work-based learning opportunities such as internships, apprenticeships, mentorships, and project-based experiences give students practical skills and insights while helping employers build a strong talent pipeline. And whereas we recognize increased collaboration with business and industry and community college system and the core school setting is necessary, and whereas the promise of public education is for every child to be successful in school and life, and whereas it is important for Virginia families, students, teachers, and school administrators to be actively engaged in supporting the importance of workforce readiness as part of the educational experience, and whereas we recognize that limited funding, resources, facilities, partnerships, and qualified career and technical education staff impede student access to workforce readiness opportunities, And whereas Workforce Readiness Month provides an opportunity to celebrate and recognize the work of our local school division and divisions across the Commonwealth providing workforce development pathways for students. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the Radford City Public School Division joins the Virginia School Boards Association in recognizing the month of April 2026 as Workforce Readiness Month and April 16th, 2026 as Workforce Readiness Day with the intention to advocate and increase awareness about the supports necessary to promote workforce development opportunities that enable students to be prepared to succeed in a global economy. So, happy Workforce Readiness Month. And please, like we were talking about earlier, we're talking a lot about Radford Rising. It's a great opportunity to come out and see our students doing these things in school, preparing for what they want to do, hopefully in the future. They're very excited. I've started to see some of the things that they're making. So it'll be a really fun opportunity on the 22nd to come out and join us and keep promoting our students doing great things. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mosby.
I get excited every time I hear about how the growth of our CTE program, it just is, it's unbelievable. And I had a meeting, Ms. Mosby invited me to meet with her on Tuesday, and holy cow, the things she was rattling off that we do and I have to do, and I have the certifications and the tests and the this and the that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. And then, making it fit with the accountability framework, and which sometimes changes. So, it was impressive.
Thank you very much. All right, I get excited about the budget, so I'll go next. Actually, at this point, there's not a lot of new to report. There's actually nothing new on our end. I would like to say to this board, I appreciate your support. Those of you who have called, emailed, texted, support, come to city council meetings for support. I appreciate that. Ms. Long kept her busy all weekend. Asked her to prepare to join me at the city council meeting on Monday night. So, as you all know, the city manager presented to the city council their budget proposal, and now on the 21st of April, there will be a public hearing for their budget, and then the plan is to vote on that budget on April 28th. So again, Ms. Long and I plan to be there, and so you guys are obviously, I welcome you to be there in support of our school division. So the state continues to drag its feet. To my knowledge, there's not even been a meeting between, or that included the budget sort of subgroup. So, and I read the paper and I see that there's not any progress being made, and it's a little upsetting, but we will be ready when they're ready. So, I say all this to say it's a little up in the air, but hopefully on the 22nd, I believe they meet, and I could have that date wrong, but hopefully something from Richmond will come out one way or the other and give us some numbers to work with. So we will see how things go at City Council. Again, I appreciate Todd Meredith and his team working with our team, and we did a lot of the work prior to those meetings, and we're very happy with where we stand now. All right, let's go on. See why I get excited? No. Yeah, well, this really is good news. This I do like to talk about. So the caboose budget in Virginia, which is the budget we're in right now, has allowed for a bonus of $1,500 to be distributed to all full-time standards of quality positions. This bonus requires a local match. Radford City Public Schools wishes to distribute this bonus to all full-time employees regardless of their SOQ status. The superintendent will open discussions. So I would like to recommend to the board that we present and deliver this bonus to all of our full-time staff, those that are SOQ mandated and those that are not. And briefly, basically what SOQ positions are the folks that are required to just generally run a skeleton crew of a school division. What we've done and what other divisions have done historically is to hire more folks to help the school division become even more successful, to support our kids, and to support our families, and Radford City is no different. We have a lot of folks in position at this division that are not SOQ funded, but that we cannot imagine doing things without. So one of those things would be to offer them a bonus. We think they're just as important, if not more so, than anyone labeled an SOQ position. So I would like to recommend that the board extend this bonus to all full-time employees.
And that's an action item, correct?
That will be an action item. So if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer those. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward.
And we have the amount here.
Yes, ma'am. That would include,
We'll need.
yeah, that includes all the non-SOQ positions. So thanks to Ms. Long and her careful due diligence with the budget, we have the money that affords us to be able to offer that bonus to everyone.
We will see a budget amendment at the next school board meeting. We need you to approve this first before we would do it.
So are there any questions beyond? So on behalf of the staff, SOQ and non-SOQ alike, thank you.
Just a question, how many people are we talking about? I mean, I could do the dividing, I guess, but it's much easier to
I
have.
was thinking it was about 267, somewhere around there.
What we would like to do is make this more of a traditional retention bonus. We would like to stipulate that folks that are returning next year with their contract, with a contract in hand, sign that contract within 5 school days in order to trigger this bonus. The state allows us to do that, and we had to sign off on the fact that we were going to do it that way back earlier, a couple weeks or days ago. But I would like for this to be a retention bonus, and it would also apply to retirees who have already made up their mind on the next chapter of their life. But folks that are returning, when you receive your contract, you have 5 school days to sign your contract. If you get it back in within those 5 days, then that unlocks the bonus. So that may be something you guys want to ask about, but I wanted to let you know that that was the sort of the little asterisk we were putting beside the bonus.
And that's starting this year, right?
Right. If you're teaching now and you're coming back, or any non-SOQ position, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a teacher. Full-time staff member, if you're coming back next year, we would like for you to sign the contract and have it back to HR in order to unlock this bonus.
I do appreciate that addition to the idea instead of, there's always that concern of what happens, what if we just blanketly release funds to someone. As the resident banker on the board, I'm always concerned about, are we just allowing that to go out the door potentially. So I do appreciate that idea that it's come back to us, help us add to the future and benefit of Radford as well as the community, serving the students here. And, here's a little extra thank you for doing that.
Sure.
So I like that.
Any other questions? All right, so that'll come back up in action items. All right, I would like to welcome to the podium Dr. McDaniel, who's going to talk to us about our social studies textbook adoption. And Ms. Price.
And my trusted companion, Ms. Price. So this is going to be very similar to our math textbook adoption. We kind of started this process because of the House bill. However, more information has come out. We're not really required to do that this year, but when we reached out to teachers, I had reached out to teachers last spring when this first came out, and they wanted materials because they don't have anything. They don't have any materials for elementary. And then we kind of discovered that the high schools were somewhat antiquated with, old names on maps and things like that. So we are buying them some materials, but because the approved list isn't officially out, we only felt comfortable moving forward with our elementary because there was only one on the previous list that was approved, and it's still probably the top one for Virginia. So Ms. Price got to be such a pro at handling the math textbook adoption that she volunteered to help with social studies too. So I'll let her tell you a little bit more about the process.
So we went through the same process. That is exactly the same procedures as we went through with math. As Dr. McDaniel was saying, that House bill, if you actually read the House bill, it still says that we have to adopt everything that is core by July 1st of 2026. However, attending during some HQMI meetings that I've been attending, Department of Education refuses to write anything down, basically. But they are saying to school divisions now, do not adopt science and do not adopt most of history, because they have not given us an approved list. For reading, we have an approved list, and we've had it for a while. For math, we have an approved list. That's why we have gone ahead with those. With social studies, though, looking at the previous list, Bob Hunt's Press, if you want to go ahead. Bob Hunt's Press was really and truly the only thing that was out there. I've done a lot of research, a lot of different ways, talked to a bunch of different school divisions, talked to teachers all over, asked does anyone have any other recommendations for elementary. Bob Hunt's Press was it, basically. And as Dr. McDaniel was saying, our elementary people did not really have anything to go off of. So they were really pulling things together from here, there, everywhere. We did go ahead, before we found out about the HQI meetings and the recommendation from DOE, we started our process with high school also, and we looked at those textbooks that are there, including HMH, McGraw-Hill, Cengage, which is also National Geographic, by the way. They've got two names going on right now. We also went ahead with our list of teachers.
If I could just interject there really quickly too, they have all these books in hand, so when we are ready, we're going to be able to move through this process really quickly with our secondary, because they've already reviewed everything and know what they want, as long as it's on that approved list. And you'll be very pleased to know, especially you, Ms. Boyd, that the Five Ponds Press materials are really nice printed books with really beautiful pictures, colorful, references to all the historical things they have to learn and everything. And I think the kids are really going to enjoy it, and we're going to get some workbooks and things that they can write in and have in their hands to be able to study. And so I think it's really going to be beneficial to our teachers to have those materials. So,
Absolutely.
It'll also increase their reading, all the nonfiction reading, all that kind of thing. So I think they're really going to enjoy having this.
So continuing on, we did open up public comment. We had the public comment open from February 11th to March 10th. The books were out there, they're now gone. And then we had the online access also. We only had one submission. That person actually came to me and told me that they submitted it. Was not needed to be done, but it was a secondary teacher, and their comments were specifically on secondary. So it did not apply to anything elementary. By the way, with grades 7 and 8, they were given they had a couple of options. They wanted to go down because they were looking at Five Ponds Press. So we just took them down with the elementary grades. So we didn't have any public comments. So the teachers, with a consensus, wanted Five Ponds Press for K through 8. So we are looking at approximately $130,000 for that. That does include the teachers did want digital access. They wanted hard copies, so that includes everything there. With the secondary, we are waiting to hear from BDOE. As Dr. McDaniel said, the teachers now have, even the books that were out here, I took back to the schools and said, here you go, you can have these back. You can be continuing to look at it. They pretty much have their thoughts on what they want. However, the list is much larger for the high school setting, so we do not want to proceed to adopt something and then the Department of Education come back and say, no, that's no longer on the list. Or they come back and say, now we're putting something else on the list that wasn't there before. So as soon as we get that list, we can proceed to look at, do I need to go back and get more textbooks for those people to look at, or is that it? And are we ready to go? So I feel like we're a step ahead of people who haven't looked at anything yet. Those teachers are very anxious to get something, but they are also very understanding that right now we just don't feel like we can do it. With the Department of Education, they are giving no timeline. we continue to ask, and they will not give us a timeline. The same thing actually happens to be the case for science. So we have nothing going for science right now.
Yeah, the secondary does have an online textbook for science already.
I mean, like anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But they're not in as big of a need as elementary.
with our secondary people, we did reach out to those people and say, and also to our elementary social studies people and say, what kind of things can we get to help you out? They provided a list, and we have purchased everything on the list. Some of the things aren't here yet, but we have purchased everything on that list.
So we use some of our all-in grant money to buy new globes and new materials that were updated for them to have in their classrooms, that kind of thing. Any questions?
I'm curious, and let me preface this by saying I'm not going to ask you to identify anything, but I am curious, was there a obvious consensus among the teachers, even though there isn't anything from the Department of Education yet saying, here's your approved list, we don't know when we're going to have one, but have the information we presented to the teachers here, was there a consensus and agreement of what materials they preferred?
Yes. Actually, I had sent them sample materials last spring, a year ago, from Five Ponds Press, but some of them had not been updated with the newest standards yet for Virginia. And so I reordered, so they got a second set of samples in the fall. But they really do like the materials that they have.
So there's an agreement among the teaching staff of what they like. Here's the point where I'm going to put you both on the spot here. Feel free to go, if you don't want to answer. Do you two agree with that consensus?
I do.
I'm going to be honest and say math is my thing.
Sure, of course, yeah.
Just being 100% honest. Just hearing the teachers, though, like, before we even started talking about the social studies, like, when I was going to teachers and talking math textbook adoptions, they kept saying, social studies, Five Ponds Press, social studies, Five Ponds Press. Don't give us anything else. And I'm like, okay, but we're doing math right now. Can you just chill for a few minutes, basically?
I should have picked up some of the materials so you could see how really nice they are. Like I said, nice color pictures, and you can see the progression of the reading level as you go through the grades, as far as it being age appropriate and everything. So I think they're going to be very pleased with this.
One thing the teachers were commenting a lot on was how it broke things down, and it didn't look like a traditional textbook. And it would give you like a little snip of this, and there wasn't a lot there to read, but what was there was very informative. And then, you would have another little box. So it captured the students' attentions.
Without overwhelming them with
Without
text.
overwhelming them. Because some of the textbooks that we've looked at, I mean, it's nothing but maybe one picture, and the rest of it is words on a page. And we're to a point right now where most students are not willing to even think about reading that.
I'm just thinking as well, just since there is, again, a general consensus between you all as subject matter experts and our teachers, absolutely subject matter experts. If the Department of Education hasn't moved on that and don't seem to have any ideology to say, within this time frame we're going to, perhaps we could encourage them while they're considering what's an approved list. By the way, if you aren't thinking about this, that's the one that we really love. It's always nice whenever you have that opportunity. You have a wish list, you present it, and it shows up on Christmas morning. So if we can.
The issue with the Department of Education is they have to have approved a process to actually even look at the textbooks. And so they don't have the process approved yet on how to even evaluate the textbooks. Once they have that, then they're ready to go and
Like a rubric or something?
right, like a rubric. And then just talking, the textbook companies reach out to me. Honestly, I probably got 5 emails while I've been standing here. They're ready. Those textbook companies are ready to move forward and send the Department of Education their stuff. So that's where we're at. And the Department of Education has gone before their board to get their process approved, and it wasn't approved At the last meeting, they would not tell us anything about that, so I don't know any details on that. But
I don't
they were
think-
ready to go back and forth.
I don't think any of us are surprised that bureaucratic red tape is a preventative measure to getting something accomplished in a timely fashion. Unfortunately, government tends to move at a glacial speed, so
Our teachers are very excited though
yeah,
to have something to go off of.
that's it.
So,
And thank you all for taking the additional step to go in and say, hey, what materials do you need? And let's get it for you. Thank you. For me, just thank you.
any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both. So, the Virginia School Board Association sends out nomination forms for the business honor roll nominations. And I would like for the board to consider Barron Entertainment for this nomination. Rob Barron has been a valuable partner for RCPS. Real quickly, I'll just go over some of the things that we've leaned on Mr. Barron for, and he has responded every time and exceeded our requests. On October 20th, we hosted a Virginia Literacy Partnerships Fall Professional Development Session for newly hired teachers and reading specialists from 23 surrounding divisions. The event was held in the RHS auditorium. Mr. Barron helped install new audiovisual systems prior to that and provided exceptional support for this event. He arrived early for sound checks, ensured the presentation ran smoothly, and even returned midday to replace microphone batteries so the event could continue without interruption. The leaders of this event said they had held trainings across the Commonwealth but never experienced such attentive and responsive support. We called several places to troubleshoot the problem. No one was able to help. Mr. Barron was the only person able to come to DIS right away, diagnose the issue, and fix the display. The Virginia 250 team was extremely impressed with Mr. Barron's expertise, responsiveness, and knowledge. Mr. Barron helped install a portable speaker system for the band to use on the football field. He also helped the band save money by purchasing equipment at his rates. And during Convocation of 2025, Mr. Barron was instrumental in setting up our brand new sound system and then stayed the entire morning to help us with any issues that may have come up. Every time I turned around at Convocation, there was Mr. Barron, and he was, I think he was enjoying it about as much as I was. So this will need to be added to our agenda as an item for which you guys should vote, but I would like to recommend that Mr. Rob Barron and Barron Entertainment be nominated for the VSBA Business Honor Roll for 2026.
Amazing. He's not even on payroll, and look at all that stuff. That's crazy.
He did the candidate forum as well when I was running. He was there running the candidate forum sound system at RHS Auditorium. So
Mr. Keister at McCark has 2 tin cans and a string. And Mr. Barron has been nice enough to offer to bring us around to the new century.
So, yeah, I think it's another one of those opportunities, and I certainly agree with it and support the opportunity to present that, but it's just another time that when we have a need, then the Bradford community steps up and fulfills that need. It's certainly when, I mean, just as a community, but certainly when it has to do with our students and our Bobcats. It never ceases to impress and amaze me.
All right, so we'll take care of that during action items, or now?
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Let's have a motion to add to the agenda the Virginia School Board Association Business Honor Roll nomination of Mr. Rob Barron, Barron Entertainment. Is there a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so that will be added.
Thank you all, and so if things go well during the vote, we will invite him to our next meeting and present that.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Mosby, you didn't get too far, I hope. I'd like to welcome back to the podium Ms. Mosby for our annual Perkins Grant application presentation. Thank you.
All right. Thank you again for having me. And like Ms. Boyd mentioned, we already had our conversation a little bit yesterday and talk a little bit about Perkins and what it is and where we're going. You all hopefully had a chance to look at it this weekend. You know, it always seems to be a work in progress with various deadlines to be done before we actually spend all of our money. So just to kind of go through it a little bit. I thought we would, and I'm going to give you do a little recap so we can go ahead and move forward with the 25-26 school year. So we never get our amount. Like when I submit this at the end of the month, it will be denied sometime in the summer or early fall because they don't have their money yet. So we get our money in October with that new amount. We do an amendment. So we did get an increase to $32,256.91. That allows us to get our state equipment, special equipment, etc. Although that's not also released. Usually it's around the same time, but this year it was very, very late. So we had to keep kind of holding off. We were putting together those needs wish list while we were waiting for those things so that we could go ahead and spend those. So once we got that, we were able to move forward, but our teachers were very resourceful and patient, and some even went ahead and applied for their own grants, which a few of them actually got, which was really helpful so that they could go ahead and get those things that they knew I wouldn't be able to get even with Perkins. We'll talk about that in a second. So when the money came through, the first things we started getting were some of our platforms like ISEV. It's basically an online platform that started with agriculture kind of back when COVID hit, when a lot of students had to be at home learning online. And it's grown to basically all of our CTE programs. But right now, our agriculture classes, computer science, and culinary are currently working in the platform to see how it benefits them. Katie Gibbons is a great example of how she utilizes the lesson plans, the videos, the practice credential exams, and uses the credential exams within those. ISEV platform. And then Ms. Philpott is new to computer science, new to us, obviously, so she's excited about learning everything. And so she's been using it to kind of help build her programs. And Mr. Muck with culinary has realized it's been a wonderful adventure for him to be able to see some of the things that he can kind of coordinate into his classroom experiences for his students as well. We are hugely grateful for the 4x4 change, but especially in our CT program. So our teachers have had to adapt a little bit to having that extra time and having these platforms with the lesson plans and videos and access to credentials and learning and actually taking it has been a huge benefit. Mr. King in Small Engine actually was able to go into his ISEV and finish his credential that he needed for his license. So it's been a huge benefit to a lot of our teachers, and hopefully that'll continue to grow, and we'll continue getting it every year. Okay, go ahead. So as we approach deadlines, we typically have to spend our state equipment, special equipment, MOE, all of our credential exam money for like workplace readiness or STEM-H. That has to be spent first before I can go into Perkins and actually do that. So we just finished doing that. We were able to get everything pretty much on just about everyone's wish list with that money initially so that we can move on. We're still waiting on the refrigerator to come to Mr. Mook's classroom, but Lowe's is working with us on round 3 because the first one arrived broken and the second one arrived dented, and so now we're going with number 3. So so it's been a good experience. I'm adding that to my expertise of how to order refrigerators. So we finished all that. Now we're going into Perkins. We still have a lot of money to spend, but we have big items this year that we need to spend those on. Again, oven and culinary, shed for outside. So those are things that we are working on next. And that has to be spent before the end of the fiscal year. But again, like we know we want, and occasionally we'll have a little bit left over that we need to run to Lowe's and pick up a few things. But I think last year we spent everything but 14 cents. So we were pretty happy with that. Okay. So with these purchases, please know that I cannot buy consumables. So for example, in culinary, I can't buy flour for Mr. Mook. I can't buy anything that could come and go in a day. Wiring, anything that in machining, his metal, his sand, those things can't be bought with Perkins. So I do have to be really careful with the equipment list and things that I am able to buy. So Mr. Simpson works with the budget and the departments. Again, we encourage grants. Mr. Compton's a great example of he basically every year gets the New River Valley Homeowners Association grant, which allows him to buy those consumables for the year where he builds his walls and anything like lumber. The Radford Rising has been a huge help to us just because they were able to get those consumables I couldn't get to do their showcase. So that was a huge opportunity for them to continue growing this semester. Some of the things that we've been, like I mentioned earlier, that we've been getting is the refrigerators replacement. Again, small engines growing. We're adding on the second level with power systems. So we'll have some equipment and tools for that. Building trades is coming back. So we just want to make sure we have all of our updated equipment. And of course, he will continue teaching electricity, plumbing, masonry in that class. So there are additional things within building trades that we may not have had, or since it's been a few years, we need to update. Small animal vet science, things like we needed a freezer for our pig.
Easy. Easy.
Hey, things happen. It's full circle of life. And we have a new piggy, so if you haven't been to the school to visit her, please come by. We don't name, so we, try to keep her distance, but she is actually really darn cute. So we got her a freezer for that purpose. And replacing animal cages, guinea pigs, rabbit hutches. So trying to keep everyone safe. A couple things for her classroom that she needed to just update to make sure that she was following safety code protocol, that kind of thing. Again, healthcare equipment. Our students are growing. Our healthcare program we need to grow, so we want to update those things that our students can be working on: blood pressure monitors, first aid kits, even things like I can buy safety signs, fire extinguishers, fire blankets. All those things that the auditors have reminded me that I need to make sure in every single room, including like econ personal finance is a CTE class, so that classroom needs to have a fire extinguisher. So those are things that we are constantly making sure we have moving forward. Television media. Again, the podcast is great success, so we're keeping up with the times with the new equipment that she needs. And then, of course, our credential exams, beyond workplace readiness, you'll see in a few slides from now, all those tests that we give, but in addition, our level 2s and 3 classes that are needing to get those credentials, and some of those are not cheap by any means. So having money to spend on some that are well over $100 for one exam is important. And like I mentioned also, the learning platforms, safety, OSHA, which there is a rumor OSHA might count as a credential, so we're all really hoping it does, because that's obviously super important, and most of our students get those just by being in those classes on that platform. Okay, so workplace readiness, again, being on a 4x4, this means we can take multiple times. We start the students early to kind of start learning that process. They are taught in the CT classes and econ personal finance. We have started this year before last and this year we are working with new intro classes, first level classes. So we're getting a lot of freshmen and sophomores right away with getting those workplace readiness exams out of the way. And so you can see in the fall, we had 158 first attempts with 105 passes, and then we had some retakes with additional passes, and then we've just moved into the spring exams. We finished right before spring break, giving 73, and that number is lower because we have more second and third year level classes in the spring. So we have fewer students that are taking that class or exam maybe for the first time, and then we had 20 retakes with 6 passes, and then we had a final attempt with that pass. So that was exciting for that student to not have to do that anymore. The one thing that is difficult with workplace readiness is that the students get 3 attempts per year, and they have to wait 14 days between each attempt. And so that really puts us at a disadvantage of how early we can start, because teachers need to be able to teach some of the real soft skills that they need to get started in that for that test, but that's an ongoing learning throughout that whole semester in that class. And then also being able to have enough time to retest. So the students that take the test starting in the fall have all years technically to retake multiple times. The students that take it for the first time in the spring have limited time. So we are juggling with how many weeks and trying not to interfere with the other SOL tests that now happen both fall and spring, as well as APs and anything else in the end of year credentials. So we are getting ready the process since our 14-day window is up, to start that retaking process. We have a group of students that I'm looking at to try to redo in a couple, hopefully another week or 2. Big shout out to Ms. Thompson in the fall. She really worked with the students that needed, that were really, really close, and she took time in her planning to really make sure the students had some additional access to review sessions. And with that, we had a lot of passes, so that was really helpful. Okay, workplace readiness moving forward. Obviously, I talked about being able to focus on those first levels. And again, this is a goal that is to have a credential before graduation. It's part of that 3E framework. You have to sort of keep graduation requirements in the 3E framework separate. You have certain things that you need for graduation, and a credential is one of them, but it's a lot of ands or ors. Whereas for our accountability, that credential really puts us in that distinguished area, along with some other CTE things. So our goal is let's go ahead and start them early, and then by the time they get to EPF by junior year or that second or third year, if they still need work readiness, they have that additional information being given to them year after year, semester after semester, or they're taking that high-level credential, which can also count and gives us more points in our accountability 3D framework. So that's always our goal, is to try to give the most high demand, credential that we can give them for our sake, but then also for students, they can leave high school obviously with this work readiness credential, or for some of them going into the workforce, right into the workplace, they are going to have something that is going to highlight their resume, hopefully make them stand out above somebody else that may not have had that opportunity yet. So that's been exciting to see and offer our students. And then closing out this year with this 25-26 Perkins, we're obviously still needing to spend some money, need that equipment. I mentioned a carport for our small engine in the back of the building. We really want Mr. King to have some additional space in a safety area for his equipment to go. And so we're looking at, with the help of Mr. Grimm, putting in finding a carport that has a shed attached. And eventually I'd like to put a fence around it with a lock on it so that we can keep his items safe, especially if he starts bringing in that money to help repair other people's things, but then also just to help clean up the back area of the school and keep other students and cars safe as they come in and out. And then obviously mentioned culinary, and then any additional equipment that we can use for our programs, we'll try to help them with. And then they've already started working on next year with no problem with their wish list. Moving on to the next slide, for our 26-27 Perkins, what you received over the weekend was basically what happens on the backside of everything else that is going on in CTE. So I talked a lot about the bridge and some fun things that are happening and all the programs and what students are doing, but behind that is all the stuff that needs to happen to make sure that all the fun things can continue moving forward. So making sure that we're meeting protocol with the labor market, following up with our applications, the audit, all those things that have to continue to happen every year. So we'll be, I'll be finishing that, making sure what was sent to you is correct. The only really change is that I've invited Sarah Turpin, our new executive director for the chamber, to join our advisory team so that she can be part of that conversations as well and know what's happening in the building. So she's very excited about that. So she's agreed to do that with us. And so we'll be adding her name to that. And then also the CLNA, the Comprehensive Learning Needs Assessment, is due every other year. So it's basically a deeper dive into Perkins. And that's one of the things that the advisory will be talking about, making sure we're following through with a lot of things. Does everyone have an agreement or a discussion questions? So all that's going to be put together too in the next few weeks, and that's due at the end of April to SSWS and Omega. So with that, we're obviously hoping for this year's budget and hopefully a little bit more. So we're waiting until this grant's released in the fall, but we'll put forward in this year's budget in this Perkins. So if you notice that amount I said at the beginning, that 32 plus, is this year's budget, what I put in 26-27, but that's until we get the new budget. And then we do that amendment again in the fall with hopefully a little bit more so that we can continue spending money and growing the programs and supporting them. Okay, change slides. Again, I mentioned the CLNA, that deeper dive into Perkins. And then wrapping up, basically, it's obviously been a busy few weeks trying to get a lot done in a short amount of time. So obviously special thanks out to Cindy Blankenship. She gets me through every year. To Carrie, because I had to call her over spring break multiple times for many things. And of course, Dr. Joyce, Dr. McDaniel for always being willing to sign off on my last minute purchases. And of course, you, the board. Like, you all coming and visiting the classrooms means so much to the teachers and the students. They're always like, who is that? And I have to explain, like, okay. And then they're like, that was really cool, like when they leave, or they got to show you, like, how did they turn on their light bulb and what they're building and all the plants that they're growing and the pig and, all those things, what they're cooking and our healthcare program. So if you remember, check out the Bobcast, it's daily. They're doing so many really cool things, and I just really appreciate the support and the shout outs that you all give us in the CTE program. And the teachers are phenomenal. They're working really hard to make sure they're having the best program. I still feel like, with Bradford City, we're one of the best hidden gems of, the program is, what we're offering our students, before they graduate in the CTE world. So
About that third bullet, a lot of time I say, can you just get Perkins to pay for it? And you tell me no.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know, you didn't want to put that in a bullet, huh?
No. So I don't mind telling you no because it's my job. And Mr. Hatch from the state and Mr. Dr. Williams might come after me. So,
Okay.
yeah. So
No
you know,
problem.
keep looking for grants. We've applied to a couple more grants. We're really hoping to get something, especially for Mr. McPeak with his Machining 3, some new CNCs. So fingers crossed we'll hear something from that maybe. But so remember, moving forward, Bradford Rising. We'll shout out there again. We're just excited about this program and showcase that Dr. McDaniel was started up, and it's just I think our teachers are going to have some great things to show you both in CT and our other core classes. And then our greenhouse sale is going to be the end of that week on that Friday, or open up to RCPS, RHS. Saturday is basically open to public, and it's going to be a little bit of a madhouse that day because I think that is also our All-American track meet. So we're going to have a busy parking lot. So we're going to have a lot of students helping out, delivering flowers to cars, directing traffic. So please drive safely when you come in. There might be some pork left to buy. Have you tried yours, Dr. Joyce?
Yes.
Was it good?
You're making me nervous.
Why?
I don't want to talk about it.
It's a part of life. I mean, we go to the store and we go to the Piggly Wiggly.
That's different. That's different.
But according to Ms. Gibbons, the students have had a wonderful time learning about that process. So it is neat. And so so come on by and say hi at any time. If you have any questions specifically about Perkins or anything, really.
I just want to say thanks for everything that you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
We do
that.
have a great program going on with our partners at New River. I'm so impressed with all that.
Yes, yeah,
Let's just keep going higher.
Yes,
Keep
I hope
going
so.
higher. I wish we could put more land out there so we could build buildings.
What is my moon wish list, Dr. Joyce?
Maybe-
Flip the parking lot?
Maybe get 2 or 3 more pigs, maybe.
Hey, and we're talking about
Pretty
goats.
quick.
I mean, I mean, goat milk, goat soap,
Sure.
goat lotion, so,
Now
goat
that I would
cheese.
go for.
Yeah, we can name those.
It's renewable.
So, yeah, and maybe some fainting goats because that's kind of just fun. So, screaming goats, that would be super fun.
I'm just curious, I appreciate the partnership with Lowe's and working that out, but I am very familiar with some of the challenges that come dealing with that, as you mentioned as well. If you would like a local supplier for appliances, let me know,
Okay.
because they are locally owned, operated, and sourced. And usually if you let them know, hey, listen, this is for a local school, Ron's really good about helping you out on some pricing too.
I'll send you an email.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be perfect.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anybody else? Thank you. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. Our teachers work really hard for our students and couldn't do without them too. So always give them a shout out. So thank you all so much.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thanks. As you're walking back, anytime you want us to come back through, we'll be glad to, because I really enjoy doing that.
New semester means new things.
Awesome.
It's true.
Okay, every time about this year, we hear from Mr. Daniel Hill with our annual special education plan report. Mr. Hill?
Follow Miss Mosby. I don't want to hear about this stuff. No, my goodness.
I guess you have no little piglets.
No. No. All right, so we every year, like Dr. Stewart was saying, I'm required to present the plan to you guys. I'm also required to present it to our CX, which will be meeting on Monday. Usually CX first, and then the school board. I don't know what happened to the dates there. I think just
Well, we're a week early.
the Wednesday board meeting threw us all off.
We're a week early.
Us too.
Yeah.
I haven't known what day it's been since last Thursday.
So as part of this plan or this application every year, we have to just share how we utilized last year's money. So the first part of this presentation is talking about that. It's there's money on the next slide, but we use this money to go. I thought I'm controlling this thing. Am I controlling this thing? No. All right, go back. No, forward. There we go. So this past year, or this current year, we used the money to pay staffing. I mean, it's 98% salary across teachers, paraprofessionals, specialists, some instructional materials, supplies, whatever our special ed teachers need. vision and hearing services, and then we set aside some money for parental play students. So that's our students who are homeschooled or attending a private school. Our preschool funds this year, it's much smaller. I think it's around $13,000, and that covers half of a salary of a paraprofessional, and then the rest is covering that OT and PT service. Next. Yeah. So this is next year's. Just like Ms. Mosby, we're building this budget on last year's money, and then we'll know about summer what we'll get. It's usually around the same amount of money. It could be last year it was less, and I think it was more based on some stride numbers, because a lot of this is based on our December 1 child count. But this is what we're building this year's on, or next year's. Once again, it's mostly in salaries, which includes around 4 teachers, part of a school psychologist salary, an educational evaluator, a speech language pathologist, and then once again we got a few $1,000s in there just to support materials and supplies for our special ed teachers. It's a little pie chart here of how that money is spent. And then the preschool, for around $14,000, around $13,000. Majority of that, as you can see, 82% is salary and benefit of a paraprofessional, and the rest is used there for OT and PT services for our early child special education program. So overall, what we have in Radford City Schools, we have 17 K through 12 special ed teachers. We have 2 early childhood special ed teachers, around 23 and a half paraprofessionals, 2.75 speech language pathologists, and 2 school psychologists, and a couple part-time evaluators that do some of our assessments for our, when we refer kids to special education. Other folks that work out of this office, of course, is me, special ed liaison. We contract with H2 for occupational therapy and physical therapy. We contract vision and hearing through Allied Contracted Services. We have a parent resource center, and that kind of supports our families and student support services. That's a separate grant that we just, we were notified of, I think last week, that we received that grant for next year. This is our December 1st child count. 2025, so you'll hear us talk a lot about December 1st. So that's from the Department of Education. We have to submit a report to them to let them know how many kids that we have in Radford City Schools as an IEP. Just so you know, we have RCPS students, and of course then we have stride out of division. So the grand total there, I can't really see because I see myself.
412.
What is it?
412.
Yeah. So grand total 412. We have 278 students that live here in Radford City Schools that attend our schools that have an IEP, and then we have 134 out of division. That we include those in our child count as well. Okay. This chart just shows you comparing the 2 years, or from last year to this year. As you can see, our child count has increased. Our local students went from, we had 257 last year, this year we had 278. Stride out of division went down. Last year we had 107. This December 1 we had 134. So our population of students with disabilities is growing here in Radford.
Now this just includes students with IEPs, not 504s.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I can give you another presentation on that. It's about the same. So here's kind of a breakdown of our disability areas that we serve here. SLD is always the top, and you'll see that across the state. OHI and autism are now about the same. I think they were both 83 students. So usually that is growing. We all know that population of students we are maybe identifying more, or they're here. We know more about students with autism, so we have more kids now than ever qualify with the autism label. Next. So this breaks down the disability areas between the 2 years. So you can see SLD went up a little bit, well, quite a bit actually. And I think that's a lot too. I think with the Virginia Literacy Act, we are identifying more kids with learning disabilities. Our students we have more data when we go to our eligibility meetings to say they do have a learning disability. Our OHIs dropped a little bit. Our EDs dropped a little bit. Our IDs went up. Our multiple disabilities has went up. And as you can see, the autism has really skyrocketed in the last 2 years. Yeah, there's just some points there. SLD has increased from 94 to 110. OHI remains about the same. Autism has increased. And we'll see. Go back. Sorry, Brian. With autism increasing, that will increase a lot of our related services around speech and OT and PT. So you may see that increase there, which we're budgeting for an additional support with an SLP next year. So some highlights, you've seen this before, but this top point was bullet was pulled from Matt Hurt. At the end of last year, we ranked 9 out of 71 divisions for our students with disabilities and SOLs, which I think is amazing. Yeah, and then the second, those, I guess, 1, 2, 3, the next 4 points. Every year, the Department of Education rates us on compliance and results. And this past year, we earned 100% in those 2 areas, which we're very proud of that. And then the last bullet there, just some highlights of this year, is that we launched our first year of our on-campus transition partnership. So we're partnering with, and I spoke about this back in the fall, but we're partnering with Montgomery County Schools and Radford University to place students, postgraduate students. We have 3 students that we placed at Radford University. These are students that are plus 18 that we're still responsible for providing services up until their 22nd birthday. So we now, instead of these students come back to their home school and kind of taking some classes that they were already taking, we now, these students are attending Radford University, they're taking classes, they have jobs. We have a student that has a job he works at Starbucks. We have one student that is working at the gym there. So just a really cool program that we were able to start this year. So that's kind of the highlights of this year, and that's all I have. You guys have any questions?
Like everyone on this team, Daniel works really, really hard. The difference is that Daniel has to answer to several bosses. None of those are here, and know Daniel very well. That's the federal government and state government, and he has to jump through a lot of hoops for people that don't even know us, and he does a great job.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. You really do a great job. You do a great job. You really do.
All right. Mr. Dye, if you'll pull up the enrollment. Not a big change there. If you'll notice, today's taught is only 16. That will have some bearing on the other reports that we pull up. Thank you, sir. If monthly attendance report overall 94.3, we'd like to see that a little bit higher. Weekly winner was Bell Heath. Back, well, it says weekly winner, but I don't know what that means, Cole, because that's the whole month wrapped up. You'll take it though, right? Again, 16 days reported. We see a little dip in the attendance at a couple of schools. Nothing too terrifying. Our principals and Ms. Wright do a great job. Our teachers with engaging lessons and just building relationships are helping to mitigate some of those declines, and we expect to finish April and May very strong. Here are the warning letters, meetings, and formal meetings that Ms. Wright has prepared for us. She does a great job. We keep her very busy. She does good work. All right, we'll start with McCard. A dramatic drop from, oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it wrong. So this month, was just a tick higher. They made the most they could out of those 16 days. The little rascals. And we'll go to Bell Heath. Again, just
Same.
an uptick. Well, they had a lot of time to make up for. You want to make it
all the way around.
right, a clean sweep. We understand. Again, Mr. Freeman isn't here, but his numbers ticked up just a bit, which we can handle. And then the high school, who has a lot to brag about, is on the plus side. No, we're not going to count that. Well, we have to stop it at some point. So if you put 3 in later, then that's completely up to you. So questions about our numbers to this point? We'll put together some really solid months in April and May. We'll have a little bit better picture. I mean, when you count snow and Easter and all the things,
Spring break. Yeah.
spring break, it's really hard to point at one solid number. All right. Nothing from financial world that we haven't already gone over. Capital projects, I think it's been pretty quiet in your world lately. We know better. I would like to say that Mr. Grimm and Dr. McDaniel have worked hard to unlock some grant money for a new school bus. So we will enjoy the fruits of their labor soon, and we will maybe, hopefully, put a bus like on the spare list that we're not completely ragging it out every day.
It kind of disturbs you when you meet a tow truck coming in. And it gets up to you, and you can see it's a school bus, and as it goes past, it says Radford City School.
Oh, no.
Now, were there kids on it? Because we really want to be, timely with the delivery.
Yeah, I don't think they were making
Okay.
Okay, for anyone it was a joke. It's funny.
I mean, I'm sure the tow truck driver was.
There are emails coming right now.
Madam Chair, that's all I have.
All right, reports of board members. Who's up?
Well, I'll go.
Okay.
So I got the privilege to go to Winchester to Emerald and Grace. Shade, I think that's what they say. Shade, something like that. But it's at John Hanley High School. And it might have been a mistake for him to send me. That place is awesome. I mean, if you get a chance, definitely you need to go. It's unbelievable. I mean, the things they got 200 kids going in the morning, 200 going out the evening. But you're talking Winchester, so, it takes a lot to get there. But, I mean, it was just awesome. And what really impressed me more than anything is they had a team together, and they implemented English. They thought English was the best course to twine together with all the labs. I thought that, that's probably pretty good. So when a kid gets out of welding lab, he goes straight to an English class, all in that same building. And I think, and they were just running around everywhere, happy. And it wasn't just goofing off. They were like going from welding lab over to electric, communicating with one another. Hey, what about this project? Or hey, what do I do with this? It wasn't goofing or nothing like that. It was just amazing to see how that whole program worked, and that all the teachers were together. It was just one big tight thing, and it was just awesome. And they had everything. At the end of it, they had a Q&A thing. They had their students. The question was, what did it do most for them? And I got notes that the one kid said it helped him with strategic planning. And I said, there it is. That's awesome. That's what you want. But they were so well behaved. The teachers got along. They all collaborated together, which was good to see. They got their own cafeteria. They do breakfast. They do lunch. But they had everything. And I was just so glad that he asked me to go, because I was not only impressed, I was I don't know what the word would be, but I wish
Envious.
I wish I had it when I was at school. I know that much. You know, it was, and I would encourage anybody, if they get the opportunity, Jason something, I can't pronounce his last name, is the superintendent, but he is a top-notch guy. I mean, I got the privilege to talk with him also. I mean, it took a lot of money to do it, but, you know, it took 5 years of planning with it too. I think Brian's got pictures he can send to everybody if they want to look at them, review it or whatever, but it was just so impressive to see what they've done. And anybody to think that CTE world is not important to children, they're wrong. I'm here to tell you right now they're wrong. It is so important for them to have. But get a chance to go visit, and I'll be quiet about it, but it was awesome. I mean,
Thank
it was
you.
awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. I appreciate you asking me to go.
Okay. Now who? No?
I can go.
Okay.
Is
Sure.
somebody else?
Wait, are y'all going? No, I don't mind. Wait.
I mean,
Okay, I'll go. So most of you know that we did launch the Radford Ace raffle. Hopefully you guys will share that Facebook page because Meta does not like it. So they're not pushing it out like if they would other pages. So if y'all share that, I really appreciate it. I think they think it's some kind of like get rich scheme or something. I'm like, no, it's a fundraiser, totally different. But we've launched that, and I'm really excited to say that the students that are going to be needing volunteer hours will be going to different games and stuff like that to sell tickets for it, and they'll be able to use some of their volunteer hours for that. Mrs. Gibbons is allowing us to sell tickets during the greenhouse sale. I think, what is that, the 22nd? Is that what you? 25th, I couldn't remember, sorry. So that will be happening. So be looking for that because we're trying, to raise about $40,000, which is a huge goal, but I think we could do it. I do. So I'm just really excited that we've got that going on, and everyone seems extremely supportive of it, and I appreciate how much you guys have been supportive. And also, when we do have these, when we do have these functions and the students are there, we want at least one adult there also that is handling the money if there is cash. So we have a sign-up sheet, and if any of you guys want to work on any day that's happening, that would be great because that would help out a lot because we do want an adult there as well. So I'm just excited to talk about that. Oh, also, yay! I don't know if you guys got to see the News Journal today. There's a front page article about the raffle, so I'm excited about that. So yeah, so thanks for sharing that. Do share it. And that's all I have to say. I'm just excited.
What about you, Jane?
I've been kind of a worthless bum. Since the last meeting just occurred, I've been meetings. I've been, it seems like we've been together a lot lately. I spent more time at car repair than.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. So I had the privilege of attending MGA by default because one of the one of the chaperones couldn't go at the last minute. So I got to watch 14 young people, future leaders, filling the role of delegates in the Model General Assembly. And I mean, going through the whole process, the whole legislative process from voting on their House bills to crossover, where they then voted on the Senate bills. And then after the youth governor signed or vetoed, then they had veto sessions and, overrode some of the vetoes. It was just civics in action. It was amazing. They were so professional. They dressed professionally, and they were very respectful in their debates and questions. And I was just bursting with pride and very excited and inspired to see our future right there in front of the Capitol. So it was a great experience. Another reminder, we do still have student artwork on display at Glencoe until April 30th. Bobcat Theater, Annie opens tomorrow night at 7. And finally, before we go into closed session, I wanted to get this out, that a reminder that we do have a special called meeting tomorrow night at the Radford Library in the community room. And it will be in the form of a town hall listening time, listening to any comments that parents or community members might bring to us. Not to respond, but just to hear them and direct them to the proper channels. I
will say,
I buried it.
To MGA, I did notice in the newspaper that there's a student in Vermont who's 14 years old who's on the ballot for governor.
Wow.
So, maybe one of these kids at MGA have bigger aspirations.
It wouldn't surprise me. One more thing. This week is National Assistant Principals Week. And we don't have anybody here, so principals, I'll just ask you to take it. You're an assistant. That's right, I'm sorry. I think of you being even more than that.
And Miss Ray was here, but she was.
So your assistant principals who aren't here, please carry back to them our appreciation for the hard work that they do. I mean, sometimes principals seem to be like the head honcho, but really assistant principals carry a very heavy load and do so much to build relationships with students and be visible, and they have some very important work that they do, and we sure do appreciate them. Okay, now let's look at our action items. First one is bonus for our SOQ and non-SOQ full-time employees. Is there a motion to accept this?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Special Education Annual Plan as presented to us tonight. Is there a motion to accept that? Approve that, rather. Okay. Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. And the Perkins Plan that was presented to us tonight. Motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Now, policy revisions, this is the second reading for those.
For most of those.
Okay, there was the one FMLA one you said.
And there was no redlining of that. They just took that one and threw it away and just basically created a new one. It's much, much shorter. So we appreciate, very seldom do you hear the government making things shorter.
Yeah.
But they did.
And simpler.
And so we appreciate that. And I would like for that to be included as a first reading tonight, which you guys should have had on your packet from last week. And I'd like for it to be voted on tonight, if that's okay.
Okay. Yes. All right. Motion to approve the policy revisions, February 2026.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Social Studies book adoption, as was presented, which will primarily be for K through 8. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So, motion to approve that adoption?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so we took care of that business.
And the business on a roll.
Oh, right. My pencil ran out of lead. I can't write anything. All right. And the motion to approve that VSBA business partner honor roll nomination, which would be Mr. Rob Barron, Barron Entertainment. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So if you will read us into closed session, Ms. Swain, please.
Madam Chair, I move that the board convene into closed session pursuant to section 2.2-3711A1 to discuss the appointment, resignation, and retirement of employees of the school board.
All right. The motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're in closed session.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Great minds think alike. Thank you all.
Hello, people. All right. I need a motion to convene in regular session, please.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and Ms. Swing, if you will certify our closed meeting.
Madam Chair, I certify that only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law, and only such public business matters as were identified in motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in this said meeting by this public body.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, and from closed session, I need a motion to approve personnel matters as presented.
So moved.
Is a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that was it, right? Okay. So the date for our next meeting is actually tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at the Radford Library Community Room. It will be a town hall meeting, and we look forward to seeing you there. This meeting is adjourned.